Hey guys, it's Crystal Briefs. So in this video, I want to talk about why we don't see 244 comp being used as often as 442 or 424 comp in War of Wonders. A lot of you might have wondered why 244 is not popular, so I'll try to answer that and discuss how it can be made to work. The simple answer is that 244 is not a good comp. But what is a good comp? What I mean by a good comp in Wonder Rallies is the potential to beat a statistically much stronger lead. The bigger the potential, the better the comp is. 442 can be a lot stronger opponent sitting in 424 ranged phalanx, likewise for the 424, but with 244 that does not seem to be very possible. And I'm going to discuss why. First of all, 244 was supposed to be a counter against 424. 244's cav will smash 424's inf, and 244's ranged will smash the 424's cav. So the 424 side is forced to choose the formations that put ranged at the front. But then, what formation should 244 use? As with 424, some people might think doing inf phalanx might be good. But considering that enemy always sits in ranged front formation, losing inf at an early stage of the battle is fatal for 244. You need to preserve the damage source against 424's ranged to be penetrated in order to do damage to the 424's inf and cav sitting at the back. So the only viable formation for 244 would be ranged phalanx or cav phalanx. Both do work, but there is no mechanism that can effectively be a lot stronger rally lead when it comes to cav phalanx. Since there's less inf count, it takes much more time to kill the enemy ranged, and in the meantime, the 244's cav keeps receiving damage from surviving ranged in the opponent. There are many other reasons 244 cav phalanx is not optimal, but I won't go through that. So we're left with 244 ranged phalanx. It's a ranged phalanx versus ranged phalanx situation, so there should be a mechanism that allows 244 to beat the opponent, right? Well, there is, but turns out it's somewhat difficult to induce the mechanism that favors 244. So let's take a look at some battle reports. So in this report, I did a 244 against my testing partners 424 and actually won. But I used this gear, which is 4055, but it's still full champ and with decent astrolites, and the opponent was with champ and one accessory. And the familiar are optimized 4244. And if you look at the details, you might recognize what's going on. So on 244 side, just over half the ranged is gone. This mechanism is pretty similar to 442 winning mechanism against 424 ranged that I mentioned previously, link in the description. And in fact, this is the only mechanism that can beat 424 with 244 effectively. So this is the hero comp and the familiar lineup we used. But you'll see the problem. If the opponent changed to ranged wedge, the difference was dramatically reduced. This is because the inf and ranged clash with each other horizontally, so all the 244 ranged squads are attacked by inf. My 244 still managed to win, but only by a margin, even with my stats being superior. So if I had no superiority in the stats, it's pretty easy to imagine that 244 would lose in this case. Also, if the opponent changed to 857 with more ranged, my 244 is prevented from winning. Because the 244 couldn't kill the enemy ranged in time due to low inf count, the 244 winning mechanism is hindered in this case. With this sensitivity to enemy ranged count, it would be really hard to get 244 to work. What's more, 244 ranged phalanx and ranged wedge can both counter 244 easily if 424 was the much higher stats. Now you might be wondering, does ranged wedge work with 244? And the answer is no, like in this report. Most of my ranged is gone, and there's a characteristic mechanism taking place if you look at the movie. this happens with the enemy sitting in ranged phalanx too. Remember, in 2-4-4 winning mechanism, 2 squads of the ranged need to be untouched by the enemy inf, but that seems to be really difficult to pull off with 2-4-4, especially with that much inf against higher stats lead. So how can 2-4-4 be more effective? 2-4-4 cannot thrive against comps like 9-4-7, 8-5-7, 10-4-6, the inf-heavy ones. So against cav-heavy comp, 2-4-4 will fare better like this one. The opponent was in 6-5-9 ranged phalanx, and that's a huge win. 2-4-4 can resist 6-5-9 ranged wedge slightly better like in this one. But you know, we want more juicy hit than that, so we actually need to adjust the comp to induce 2-4-4 winning mechanism more easily. 6-7-7 has much more inf, and it's supposed to induce the 2-4-4 winning mechanism more easily by killing enemy ranged faster, but not suitable against inf dominant 4-2-4 like in this report. So looks like 2-5-3 can induce the 2-4-4 winning mechanism more stably against 4-2-4 ranged phalanx because of the increased lifespan of ranged squad while maintaining the inf count. My statistically stronger 2-5-3 beat the 8-5-7 ranged phalanx and 6-5-9 ranged phalanx quite well, and also stably against inf phalanx because the cav count is decent, but it's critically weak against ranged wedge like in this report. So as long as the enemy is in ranged phalanx, increasing the range count while maintaining the inf attack power will increase the chance of winning. Even then, you can only beat the opponent up to moderately stronger and not significantly stronger one like 4-2-4 or 4-4-2 is capable of. And finally, we tried swapping the position. So my testing partner did a 2-4-4 against my 4-2-4, and this is the result. Looks like there's no chance of beating my 4-2-4 with the 2-4-4 variant. Maybe 2-5-3 will do, but I could still choose ranged wedge. So if my partner really wanted to beat me, they have to use carpets. But if you do use carpets, they are much more effective comp than 2-4-4 anyway. So in summary, 2-4-4 is really weak against an inf-heavy 4-2-4 variant, both in ranged phalanx and ranged wedge, but fares better against cav-heavy 4-2-4 variant. But the chance of beating a statistically stronger lead is really low in any case. To get 2-4-4 to be more practical, increasing the ranged count while maintaining the inf attack power is crucial, but that can still be easily countered by an educated statistically stronger lead. So basically, the potential of 2-4-4 beating a stronger lead is pretty small, and that's why it's not very popular. But if the stronger one used a 2-4-4 variant, it might be quite effective against the weaker ones. So in a really specific situation in which you only encounter weaker rally leads, using 2-4-4 variant is actually an option. Like if a Baron used a 2-4-4 variant, maybe 6-7-7 against me, that's gonna be really difficult since 0-5-5 is suppressed. This goes the same with the stronger one using a 4-4-2 variant. If Baron used a well-designed 8-7-5, it'll be impregnable by someone like me without carpeting. I hope this video has provided you with more insights into Wonder Rallies, and since I have little experience with 2-4-4, let me know if there's anything important that I might have missed when I did the test. Like maybe the hero comp was not optimal, or a specific 2-4-4 variant not mentioned in this video that might be more powerful. As always, thanks for watching and see you later.